The shocking truth about overcoming negative thoughts. All problems are illusions of the mind. The past has no power over the present moment, says Art Tolle. We believe that pain and suffering are the result of past events, but this is not so. The only thing I have is this moment. Therefore, my whole life occurs now. If I start to realize that what happened didn't occur in the past, but now, because I am remembering and experiencing it, I can transform it from a positive perspective. When I connect my memories to the present moment, they lose their power because they lose the status of facts. They become memories. And if they are memories, they are thoughts. And if they are thoughts, I am the one thinking them, and I can transform them. How I feel now is a product of my thoughts, and my thoughts always belong to me. I can consciously choose what to think. The main cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Although it is hard to accept, one does not fall into depression. Depression is created, and it is created by our thoughts about the situations we live in. In the same circumstances, some people sink, while others use them as crises for growth and maturity. Here, it is also worth remembering the words from the work The Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman. Neither your disappointment nor your anger is caused by the rain. The rain is just a normal manifestation of nature. Your disappointment because of the spoiled picnic and your joy when the sun returns are both the result of your thoughts. We are responsible for what we think and feel. Therefore, if you take charge of your mind, you will take charge of your life and be free. When that happens, you learn to take responsibility for everything that happens to you. We believe that the problem of our troubles is others or the environment, but it is not so. What I live comes from me. We are slaves to ourselves. If I am free from what I think about you, I can choose what to think. And if what I feel is a consequence of what I think, I can choose what to feel. What causes suffering is not the scenario, but our interpretation of the scenario. Life is not what happens around us, but that is what we believe, and we feel like victims of life. We do not realize that life is born within. As Tolle insightfully says, the greatest obstacle to enlightenment is identification with the mind. You are not what you think. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Each moment is a gift. Everything happens as it should in each instant. Life puts in our path the experiences we need most for the evolution of our consciousness. How do you know if this is the experience you need? Because it is the experience you are living at this moment. Tolle writes that some changes seem negative on the surface, but you will realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. What a caterpillar calls the end of the world, we call a butterfly. Recognition and acceptance of facts give you freedom from them. Tolle concludes, practice presence now. Embrace the place where life occurs. Non-resistance is the key to the greatest power in the universe. He adds, most people confuse the now with what happens in the now. But they are two different things. The now is deeper than what happens in it. It is the space in which things happen. Therefore, do not confuse the content of this moment with the now. The now is deeper than any content that arises from it. Becoming aware of the present moment is not thinking. There are people addicted to thinking, constantly thinking, and it is a strong addiction. Almost all of us are capable of experiencing, even for a very small moment of the day, what it means to be without thought, and at the same time fully aware. It is about reducing mental processes to the minimum, achieving thoughtless spaces in the mind, not unconscious, but conscious, but without mental processes. Being aware without thinking, without identifying with thought, without letting the noise of the mind dominate us. People who do not achieve those spaces without thoughts, even if they are gaps between two thoughts, are people with psychological problems. The immediate question is how to quiet the mind, how to anesthetize all those thoughts. People are creatures of habit, and habits are built by repetition with constancy and patience. It is essential to develop the habit of not thinking. For that, the first thing is to become aware that throughout the day, as we just mentioned, there are those spaces without thoughts, even if they are scarce. Sometimes they occur when you are looking at a tree, the sky, or the clouds. Then it is about actively seeking those spaces and activities that are usually done, such as washing hands, having a coffee, or riding the elevator, becoming aware of the act and the moment, not making it a means to an end, but an end in itself. The sum of all these moments, which are many throughout the day, produces a change. All those moments when we do not think, but are consciously without thinking, give rise to a state of pure consciousness. According to Eckhart Tolle, it is more important to have many small moments throughout the day than to meditate for half an hour each day and then spend the day without having spaces. He adds, where you used to live in time and made brief visits to the now, make your home in the now and make brief visits to the past and future when necessary to address practical aspects of your life. You have much to learn from your enemies. He explains further that relationships themselves are not the cause of pain and unhappiness, but bring to the surface the pain and unhappiness already within you. Every person you meet on your path is your teacher, and your greatest enemies are your greatest teachers. Others are just mirrors in which we look at ourselves. When someone makes you angry, deep down, you are acknowledging that what they say about you matters to you. And it matters because deep down, you know it is true. If it weren't true, it wouldn't affect you at all. The pain others cause you is nothing but the dissatisfaction you have with yourself. Perhaps that is why Tolle also points out, behind anger, there is pain. Behind that anger towards others, what you are doing is projecting yourself. If small things have the power to bother you, then who you are is exactly that, small, and therefore you have a long way to go on the path of enlightenment.